Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Moose Minute Project on a Tuesday morning. Yeah, it's on. That's all I can say. It's on. The tariff war, the trade war, whatever you want to call it, is on. And if we feel as Americans that we are superior over everyone else and we can force people in to do what they want or to do what we want them to do, we are in a world of hurt. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't care if you feel you are the strongest man in the world or woman in the world or the best athlete in the world or however you want to be about it. It's kind of along with the goat discussions. I'm tired of hearing about goat discussions. I'm tired of the bullying, all of that, because there is always going to be somebody that can make your life hell and are better at things than you are. You may feel you are the best quarterback in the world, but on any given day, you will be beat or can be beat. I've seen some great athletes in my day, and yep, they have been beat. I've seen some amazing business managers and things like that have been beat. And salespeople are very competitive people. And yet, if you're not on top of your game and you're not practicing and doing all of that stuff and training yourself to be better, you will be beat. Our government right now is not trying to help and be considerate. We are trying to be bullies and to try to be forcing people to do things that they want them to do. I see we cut off all aid to Ukraine and everybody's going to go, whoo. Well, a lot of people will, not everybody. Yay, he did it. Calling Zelensky a dictator. I'm trying to figure out if Trump would put on combat boots. Oh, wait, nope, heel spurs. That'll take care of that problem. When are we going to really take effect of how we affect people in this world? And there's been a lot of comments made to me or messaged to me about, Chris, just quit watching the news. Just stand back, ignore it, whatever. That's how things happen. If you sit back and ignore what is going on and you don't want to talk politics, you don't want to talk any of that, and I'm not saying to do it at your job. So if you're a salesperson, not a good time to bring it up. But if you don't stand your ground when you're around people of your, or if your core is totally opposite, which I'm going to guess your core won't be your core for long when they realize where you stand. But you cannot stand by and watch this shit show and go, oh boy, things are going to be great. So take Ukraine out of the mix, okay? Just take it out of the mix. The meeting we had at the White House Oval Office, what a disgrace. It was an absolute disgrace. I don't care who we had there. It was a disgrace. And to yell at him for not wearing a suit or question his respect for us and all of that, when he said thank you so many times before. The reason why they get away with these comments is because of those that wear the red and white hats that say, oh God, Trump is the man and he's going to turn things around. You are sadly mistaken. To question him to wear a suit in the Oval Office when your Elon Musk can get away with wearing his t-shirt and his black baseball cap? Really? And you're going to tell him it's a disgrace, but you don't say anything to Elon because you know what'll do that if you say something to Elon. You'll be on the chopping block or you'll have to wash bathrooms for a week. I think that's the problem. When we do not have full disclosure of what's going on, and if you look at what supposedly Doge is saving us by the billions, millions, you really need to take a look at those numbers. I think they can be twisted however you want them to be to make people look at like they're doing something. Maybe I'm wired to where I don't believe a damn thing, and I'm not jumping on some egotistical, homophobic, racist kind of thing. And don't tell me they're not, because the LGBTQ slashing, all of that, and trust me, Medicare and Medicaid will be affected. There's no way to take the kind of cuts they want in that department and not affect it. Yeah, Medicaid's not there as a word, so you can't see it listed, but do some research before you start waving your MAGA big Trump flags. I notice a lot of people still have their signs up, so it's kind of like, oh, look at us. Yeah, look at how big we are. Have you did any research on what Canada can do to our economic environment, to our energy supply? Have you really looked into what that can be done? Yep. I'm starting to believe that the one thing Trump may understand is the big faucet. Yeah. And it can be shut off. If they shut off our energy, and they're already going to shut off all the alcohol out of Kentucky and all of that, and if anything knows about Canadians is they like their booze. I think it's around $1 billion that they import from the U.S., so take that out of the mix now, because they'll buy their own Canadian stuff. What we had going isn't going to be near what you think it is. If they shut off the energy, I think they can make quite a bit of areas go black. So hopefully you have a solar charger for your phone. You have ways to keep yourself warm, because things could get ugly. And yep, the bump in the road could be actually a washout. I think it's going to be more than a bump in the road. Take time to look into what you need to do and what needs to be done. And cutting off our supply. And everybody says, oh, Ukraine owes us. Didn't they do that in 94 when they destroyed all their nuclear weapons because they had a huge cache? They were one of the bigger nuclear areas. They trusted Russia. They trusted the U.S. And it's going to screw them in the long run. So we are no longer friends of a lot of people. We are enemies. So hopefully you've got a big jar buried in the backyard with some money, because you're going to need it. Hopefully you have a plan to survive the hardships that are coming, because you're going to need it. Unless you're a billionaire or make more than, I think 400,000 or something like that. You might have good tax cuts there yet still. It's going to get tight. Interest rates haven't gone down. Grocery prices haven't gone down. Yeah. China's going to get hit with 20%, I think. And let me ask you, have you understood how tariffs work yet? Have you really looked at that? Or are you on the massive thought that because we tariff everything, people are going to go, well, to avoid tariffs, we're going to build companies on U.S. soil, there's no way to do it. There's no way to get the workforce that we need, and unless you really want to watch dollars per hour go way down, because that's what it's going to take. Yeah. And if you traveled overseas, good for you. I've never been over there. I think it'd be very interesting. But if your company relies on those sources to see 20% added, and then to be gullible enough to believe that it's not going to either affect your bottom line, or as a U.S. company, you are going to have to raise your prices. It's just got to happen. So where's that go from there? And how does it work? Well, I'll tell you. Just because you hear the word tariff, you have to understand that if they put a tariff on anything coming into the U.S., it's not like we're sending a bill to Canada or to China. The bill gets passed on to the U.S. companies here, and then it gets passed on to you. So it's interesting that there's so many people that believe that he has all the answers, and he's going to bring this company. And now that he's got a company like Tesla look at what Tesla's doing now. Look at the stock market now. Tell me how that's going to get better. Fill me in on how that is. And again, this is my channel. This is the way I talk to it. If you don't like me and you don't like what I have to say, that's okay. I have a family member that's an LGBTQ. I love her to death. I love her partner to death. They are great, great people. So yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with people being bullied. Happened quite often in my life. It doesn't happen as much now because I'm different than I used to be. So that's where I'm at. And if we are not on speaking terms as friends because of where I stand, that's okay. I'll move on. No big deal. I'll question truly what your morals are, but that's okay. I think you know where I stand. I think I'm pretty blunt on where I am. If there is a Republican that would run that wanted to change things and really stand up for things, I'd vote for him. But if they were going to be on this platform of what we're on right now, absolutely not. This is not Christian or American by any means in my book of what I was told as I grew up, what we were supposed to be like. You are supposed to help your neighbor. You're supposed to treat others as you want to be treated. Open doors for ladies, open doors for vets, elderly, whatever you want to call, however you want to go about it. Say thank you to those that you see wearing the service hats or know that they're in there. Take your hat off during the national anthem. All those things are supposed to be done. Respect our flags. If they're torn, you take them down, dispose of them. You don't throw them away. You take them to the Legion to have them burned. They take care of it. That's where I'm at. That's the kind of person I was raised by, a mother that I miss dearly. But if you treat me well, I treat you well. If you want to talk shit and do all that, then yeah, we walk away and part ways. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't think these tariffs are going to kick our ass, they are going to kick our ass. The trade wars, the tariffs, all the behaviors that we have going on right now and the name calling, the bullying, both sides are so far apart it isn't even funny that they are not worried about us. So those of you that have a stockpile of cash and you have it put away or wherever you may have it, good, because I think we're going to need that sitting down the Sanchez of spending and their kind of things. But I guarantee you the tariffs are not the way to go, because if you do any math on it at all, there's no way we can supply enough businesses and everything else. So it's on. We'll see where it goes from here. I'll keep my eyes open and hope for the best. But stay positive as best I can. Like I said, with the stroke damage being in the emotional part of my brain, it doesn't take much. But I'm also not gullible enough to believe that, oh, just don't watch the news, Chris, and just ignore it all. It'll be better for you. No, not doing anything and not staying educated and not keeping on top of it is not the way to go. So, with that said, thank you for tuning into the Moose Minute Project. That's where I'm at. My mom's tournament, down to 2 lane sponsors needed. I shared yesterday the silent auction information, who's on board with that as sponsors. I appreciate each and every one of you. The lane sponsors, I truly am, I'm 2 from having those full. I'm only doing 1 per lane, so I got 12 lanes to work with. Looking forward to November 8th. I've got plenty of time to make this thing. My goal is big. My goal last year was didn't know where it would go. Raising $5,100 last year has made my goal now in my mind, being that I'm very competitive when it comes in my own doing better next time. So I am going to do whatever I can to promote businesses, and I'm going to do that different when I go on these rants, because I don't want people to feel, oh, these guys are back. And this is my own personal belief, to clear my head, to help me move on. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be seeing different things come to light here in a year. But we'll see. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day. We will talk soon. And from there, we just move forward and take time to bless somebody today when you have the opportunity. Have a great day. We'll talk soon tomorrow morning for another edition of the Moose Minute Project.